My day off work. You'll have 24 hours to explore your world and the myriad treasures within. No two games are any more similar. App Love and Max advertise. Watch an ad to continue. Button. Beep beep beep. Beep beep beep. Your phone's alarm is going off. Hit the snooze. Radio button. Checked. 1 of. Time to wake up. Radio button. Unchecked. 2 of 4. Checked. Turn it off and go back. Whoa, I'm already late for my run. Radio button. Unchecked. 4 of. Checked. Next. Button. You jump out of bed. Throw on your running clothes. Grab your phone and headphones. And head downstairs, munching on an energy bar as you go. 10 minutes after your alarm went off, you're down on the sidewalk stretching. Normally you try to fit a run in before work, but there was an electrical fire at the office yesterday, and they sent everyone home until further notice. So today you have a surprise day off. Let's do a shorter run. Radio button. Checked. 1. Let's do a longer run. Radio button. Unchecked. 2 of 3. Let's do a really long run. Radio button. Unchecked. 3 of 3. Checked. Next. Button. For you that means something north of 15 miles. It's a crisp, sunny morning. Lovely summer running weather. After a few more minutes of stretching, plus a quick chat with the doorman, you're ready to go. Run along the river. Radio button. Checked. 1 of 3. Run in the inside track at the gym. Radio button. Unchecked. Head up to the park and run there. Radio button. Unchecked. Checked. Next. Button. The park is a little ways away, uphill, but it's also huge. So once you get there you'll have a good circuit to run. When you're done you'll be enjoying a morning in the park. Somewhere around 2 hours later, around being your secret, you finish. You're beat. You check your phone and see that you missed a message from this morning about some movie promotion near your house. You must not have noticed it at the time. What next? You're in the park. Stay in the park for a while. Radio button. Checked. 1 of 6. Grab some breakfast somewhere. Radio button. Unchecked. 2 of 6. Checked. Shower and change. Radio button. Unchecked. 3 of 6. Go home. Radio button. Unchecked. Swing by the office and see what's up. Radio button. Unchecked. I'm crazy. Let's run some more. Radio button. Unchecked. Next. Button. Your stomach leads the way. Bagel. Radio button. Checked. 1 of 6. Smoothie. Radio button. Unchecked. Fruit. Radio button. Junk food. Radio button. Gas station sushi. Radio button. None of that crap. Radio button. Next. None of gas station. Junk fruit. Smoothie. Radio button. Checked. Fruit. Junk food. Gas station. None of that crap. Next. Button. You start walking towards your favorite shop in the hopes your growling stomach will appreciate the gesture. You never make it? You can't hear the screeching tires before you even see the car. At first it's as though you're the only one who senses something is wrong. You catch sight of a man on the other side of the street calmly checking his phone, and a woman watching as her little poodle sniffs at a pile of trash bags. But then you hear a vicious metallic thud as the screeching, speeding car crashes into the side of another car before bouncing directly into your path. Dive to my right. Radio button. Checked. 1 of 3. Dive to my left. Radio jump straight up. Radio button. Next. Button. The car hits you before you can't even act. This is not Hollywood. Ordinary people on the street do not get out of the way of a speeding automobile. They only realize a second earlier was headed straight for them. On the bright side, the car does not kill you. The driver, who had clearly lost control of his vehicle, managed at the last instant to swerve slightly out of your way. So rather than hitting you straight on, it knocks you to the asphalt with a somewhat glancing blow that breaks your ribs and knocks all the air out of your lungs. For a few moments you think you are literally dying, but you're actually not. The next thing you know you're in the ambulance. Then you're in the hospital. Next. Button. And how are we doing? You're in the hospital. You've been moved from the emergency room to a private room upstairs. You've got broken ribs, a concussion, a massively bruised shoulder, and areas of your arms and legs stripped of almost all their skin. You look and feel like you were hit by a car. There's a doctor in a white coat and khaki standing at the end of your bed, who's asked you this question while reading something on a tablet. He's not even looking at you. We're doing awful. Radio button. Checked. 1 of 4. Thankful to be alive. Radio button. Unchecked. 2 of 4. Checked. I'm sorry. I didn't catch your name. Radio button. Give it to me straight, doc. Am I going to make it? Radio button. Next. Button. The doctor says to himself as he continues reading the tablet. Then he shines a light in your eyes, asks you to follow his fingers. App Love and Max advertisement. Cap. A. The doctor says to himself as he continues reading the tablet. Then he shines a light in your eyes, asks you to follow his finger as he waves it in front of you, asks you to count backwards from 100 by 7s, checks your bandages, makes a few more notes, and leaves. Good thing you've got a working phone with you. You can make some calls if you want. Call my family. Radio button. Checked. 1 of 5. Call a friend. Radio button. Unchecked. Call work. Radio button. Unchecked. 3 of 5. Call a lawyer. Radio button. Unchecked. 4 of 5. No more phone calls for me. Thanks. Radio button. Unchecked. 5 of 5. Next. Button. You get a hold of your mom. She's understandably shocked at your news. You talk for a while before she has to go. I'll get there as soon as I can, sweetie, she says, which is great since she lives 2 time zones away. You can make some calls if you want. Call a friend. Radio button. Checked. 1 of 4. Call work. Radio button. Unchecked. Call a lawyer. No more phone calls for. Next. Button. You get a hold of your best friend. She's understandably shocked at your news. She says she'll try to get to see you as quickly as possible, but then she says she has to go. You can make some calls if you want. Call work. Radio button. Call. No more phone. Next. Button. You get the manager's voicemail. Yeah, you say. I'm not going to be coming in for a few days. You can make some calls if you want. Call a lawyer. No more phone. Next. Button. You ask around and finally get the name of a good personal injury lawyer. You call and reach the woman's legal assistant, who takes down your info and promises to be in touch. Don't talk to anybody suspicious, she warns before hanging up. You can make some calls if you want. No more phone calls for me. Thanks. Radio button. Checked. Next. Button. Next. Button. Get me more pain medication. Try to sleep. Radio button. Screen recording. Double. Turn on the TV. Radio button. My day off. Home. Back. My day off. Turn on the TV. Radio button. Checked. 1 of 5. Check things on my phone. Radio button. Unchecked. Ring the nurse. Radio button. Unchecked. 3 of 5. Try to sleep. Radio button. Unchecked. Get me more pain medication. 3 exclamation marks. Radio button. Unchecked. 5 of 5. Try to sleep. Checked. Get me more. Next. Button. Easier said than done though, you do get a few winks. During your drowsier spell you have a bizarre dream about giant ants pooping on your big toe, and then eating through your chest. It's 3 p.m. A doctor in a white coat and khakis comes into the room. And how are we doing? He's reading something on a tablet. He's not even looking at you. We're doing awful. Radio button. Checked. 1 of 4. Thankful to be alive. Radio button. I'm sorry. I didn't catch your name. Radio button. Did you already ask me that? Radio button. Unchecked. 4 of 4. Checked. Next. Button. The doctor says to himself as he continues reading the tablet. Then he shines a light in your eyes, asks you to follow his finger as he waves it in front of you, asks you to count backwards from 100 by 7s, checks your bandages, makes a few more notes, and leaves. Next. Button. Some time later, you've lost track of exactly how much. There's a knock on the door. It's a Catholic priest making his rounds. Excuse me, he says in an accented voice. Filipino, are you Catholic? Yes, I am. Radio button. Checked. 1 of 3. No, I'm not. Radio button. Unchecked. 2 of 3. Checked. I'd rather not say. Please leave me be. Thanks. Radio button. Unchecked. Next. Button. He's out the door almost before you finish speaking. Next. Button. It's 5 p.m. Eventually, it's 5 p.m. Eventually the police show up to question you about the crash. You'd look like somebody who just rolled out of bed when they brought you in, and the cops seem to treat you accordingly. They're appreciative of your time and sympathetic to your situation. Hang in there, one of them says, before tapping you on the shoulder. You wince in pain? Soon enough the doctors insist on checking you one more time. Your day ends with your mom showing up. She'd raced as quickly as possible, and made it much sooner than either of you anticipated. Yay! Next. Button. Your day off work is over. Thanks for playing and please play again. There's always, this time, you finished with 10 points. You saw about 5% of the game's options. This is a very common result. End. Button. We hope you've enjoyed playing. My day off work. On a scale from 1 to 10, most like, no response. Radio. Next. Button. Great. Please review this. Next. Button. Choice of games releases new. Click here. Subscribe. No. App 11 Max ad. No. Thanks. Thanks for playing. Play again after a short wait. Control center. Airplane mode. Recognize music. Background sound. Alarm. Button. Selected. Screen recording.